Hi everybody, my name is Boss Mode Billy. I like to make gaming content as well as other videos. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you love Roblox as much as I do. I'm going to do more gameplay videos and walk for tutorials in the future, so make sure you ring that bell for notifications. Welcome back to SpongeBob Tower Defense. Are you a part of the Boss Mode Nation? Let me know in the comments below if you are Boss Mode. Let's get into it, gamers. If you are a Christian, you might be thinking, what could a sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea possibly have to teach us about our faith? But bear with me, because I truly believe that SpongeBob SquarePants is a great example for Christians to follow. One of the things that I think is really admirable about SpongeBob is his relentless optimism and enthusiasm in the face of adversity. No matter what challenges he's facing, whether it's Mr. Krabs being, well, Mr. Krabs or Plankton trying to steal the secret formula, SpongeBob always seems to bounce back with a smile on his face. This ability to find joy in all circumstances is actually a key Christian virtue, and it's something that the Apostle Paul encourages us to do in Philippians 4:4, where he writes, "Rejoice in the Lord always." SpongeBob's unwavering positivity is a great reminder that, as Christians, we're called to rejoice in the Lord, not just when things are going well, but always, even in the tough times. This joy that SpongeBob embodies is really rooted in his innocence and childlike faith, which is something that I think we as Christians can learn a lot from. SpongeBob has this amazing ability to trust in the goodness of those around him, even when they don't necessarily deserve it. He looks at the world with a sense of wonder and naivety, and he loves unconditionally, without expecting anything in return. This is really reminiscent of Jesus' teachings on the importance of childlike faith, as we see in Matthew 18:3-4, where he says that unless we become like little children, we won't be able to enter the kingdom of heaven. SpongeBob's childlike faith allows him to see the best in people, and to love them without condition, which is something that Jesus calls us to do as well. I think we often lose this sense of innocence and wonder as we get older, and we become more cynical and jaded. But SpongeBob's example shows us that it's possible to maintain that sense of childlike faith, even in the face of adversity. By trusting in the goodness of those around him, and loving unconditionally, SpongeBob is able to live out his faith in a way that is really inspiring, and it's something that I think we can all learn from. As a result of his innocent and trusting nature, SpongeBob is able to form deep and meaningful relationships with those around him, which is really a beautiful thing to see. He's able to look past the flaws and quirks of the people in his life and love them for who they are, which is a really key part of the Christian faith. I mean, think about it, SpongeBob's boss, Mr. Krabs, is basically the embodiment of greed and materialism, but SpongeBob is still able to work for him with a smile on his face and a song in his heart. And then there's Squidward, his grumpy neighbor who's always complaining about something, but SpongeBob still manages to be friends with him and even invites him to participate in his antics. And of course, there's Patrick, his best friend, who's not always the brightest bulb in the sea, but SpongeBob loves him anyway and is always there to support him. This ability to form deep and meaningful relationships with those around him is a really powerful demonstration of the Christian value of loving one's neighbors, as Jesus teaches us in Mark 12:31. By loving and accepting those around him, even when they're not always easy to love, SpongeBob is showing us what it means to live out this commandment in a practical way. He's not just talking about loving his neighbors, he's actually doing it, and that's something that I think we can all learn from. Through his relationships, SpongeBob consistently shows forgiveness and kindness, even to those who may not deserve it, which is a really powerful example of the Christian principle of forgiving others as God forgives us. I mean, think about how many times Squidward has yelled at SpongeBob, or ignored him, or just been plain mean to him, but SpongeBob always seems to forgive him and move on. He doesn't hold grudges, and he doesn't let Squidward's cranky behavior get him down. Instead, he just keeps on being his usual cheerful and friendly self, which is really a testament to the power of forgiveness. And it's not just Squidward. SpongeBob is always willing to help out Mr. Krabs, even when Mr. Krabs is being super greedy and selfish. He's always willing to lend a hand or give up his own time and energy to help someone else out, which is a really beautiful example of the kind of selfless love that Jesus calls us to. This is exactly what Ephesians 4:32 is talking about when it says that we should forgive others as God forgives us. SpongeBob is showing us what it means to live out this principle in a practical way by consistently choosing to forgive and show kindness to those around him, even when they may not deserve it. By doing so, he's not only reflecting the character of God, but also creating a ripple effect of kindness and compassion that spreads throughout the entire community of Bikini Bottom. It's a really powerful reminder that forgiveness is not just something we do for others, but also for ourselves, and that it's a key part of living out our faith in a way that honors God. Ultimately, I think what's really remarkable about SpongeBob is the way his selfless and loving actions inspire those around him to become better versions of themselves. Despite being surrounded by some pretty flawed and quirky characters, SpongeBob's positivity and kindness have a profound impact on his community. He's always willing to lend a helping hand or offer a word of encouragement. As a result, he brings out the best in those around him. Even Squidward, who's often grumpy and sarcastic, can't help but be touched by SpongeBob's kindness and generosity. And Mr. Krabs, who's often driven by his own selfish interests, is occasionally inspired to do the right thing because of SpongeBob's influence. This is a really powerful example of the Christian concept of being a light to the world, as Jesus talks about in Matthew 5:14-16. By living out his faith in a way that's authentic and selfless, SpongeBob is shining a light in the darkness and inspiring those around him to do the same. As Christians, I think we can learn a lot from SpongeBob's example. We're called to be a light to the world, to reflect the love and character of God to those around us, and to inspire others to do the same. And I think SpongeBob shows us that this doesn't have to be some grand or complicated thing. It can be as simple as being a good friend, or a kind neighbor, or a faithful coworker. By living out our faith in these simple, everyday ways, we can create a ripple effect of love and kindness that spreads far and wide, and inspires others to do the same. So, as we look to SpongeBob as a role model, let's remember that we all have the power to be a light to the world, and to inspire those around us to become better versions of themselves. Thanks for watching! If you want to see more of this content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. Peace out, gamers!